Yo, what's up, everybody? Lobo here with YoJimbo and DanMalore. We're here to talk about chapter 20 of The Mandalorian and what episode was that on Bad Batch? Episode 14
14.
of The Bad Batch. You guys care what we talk about first?
Let's start with the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I
Okay.
always like to.
Cartoon before the main course, right?
Although, which one was longer this week? It's kind of funny how Mandalorian was
The
so
Bad
short.
Batch was longer.
That
Was it?
Yes.
Bad
Oh,
Batch
yeah.
might have been the show this week.
Okay, wait. It depends if you're counting
Do I count
full
credits?
runtime or not. Because the let's see, Bad Batch on Disney Plus looks like it is 30 minutes on the dot.
Yeah. And then there's like 8 minutes of commercials on the Mandalorian, on 8 minutes of credits on the Mandalorian with the international credits. It really is like 6 minutes extra. So that one might be like 32 runtime, but it was about 2640 or something around that, 27.
Okay, yeah, it's the 33 for chapter 20.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so tipping point. Whose tipping
Yes.
point was
Yeah.
it? Was it the Empire's tipping point? Was it Crosshair's tipping point?
I think it's more the clones in general. I mean, that's just the
Yeah.
version. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the clones. I mean, just starting out, we have.
are you going to bring it up in a window
I'm,
by chance?
I'm
gonna try.
It's
If it doesn't work out, it's all good. It's just nice to have something to visualize.
Yeah, it's slowly booting
Starts
up,
out.
but
It starts out with some action. I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed during the boarding scene, they used some of the 77 Star Wars boarding sound effects.
Yep.
The clamped, which sounds like you're getting boarded.
Mhm.
That to me, that's like the classic sci-fi sound of like a hull slamming against another hull. It's
That was
great.
pretty great. That was a good boarding sequence.
Was there an explosion? No. Still curious about the stunning stormtroopers now. Could that confuse the shit out of me? Pardon my French.
I think it was more.
Is that a commando back there?
That
Yes,
is,
it is.
yeah. So this is
Okay.
like the opening thing. This is got.
They're cool.
It's got the full spectrum of clones, really, right? Or I mean,
Yeah, you see everything, huh?
regular clones, because that's Hauser right there in the middle,
Okay.
right? The guy that they
For-
arrested. He's the guy who overcame his programming on his own, kind of dude.
Mhm.
And a couple episodes back, and then we got that clone commando in the back here, and then obviously a TK trooper. But yeah, that was I was pretty excited when I saw. I was like, wait, I know that clone. It wasn't just some I mean, all the clones kind of look the same because they're clones, but.
Right, but it's an established clone where they've
They
set
get
the
haircuts.
identity apart.
You know, I'm going to be honest.
he's
I
got
didn't know
he's got it.
who he was.
Fair enough. He's got that. It's that the haircut is really what did it for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was cool. I want to just
Yeah,
push
you
through
got Echo doing resistance shit though.
yeah.
Yeah, and just the whole, they knew exactly how to hit him. It was a nice
Oh yeah.
attack.
And they're
Didn't have a chance.
like
They knew all
their
the protocols, so
their equipment is compatible with the Empire's equipment. You know, so
yeah,
it's
I
like-
didn't specifically recognize that ship that they used. But it was cool with like the pod that it detaches. It looks like some kind of cargo configuration.
Right, that's actually what I'm looking for is the pod that they used.
And I like that the pod rotates on its axis too.
Yeah.
Like the dock portion, so it can just attach, and then it doesn't have to rotate the whole ship. I don't know how practical that is, but
Let me see here. Yeah, that's the little pod thing that's floating up there.
yeah, that thing.
And it's got like
Very
you can just
cool.
tell by the shape of it. It's got the is that a hexagon?
Oh, Lobo.
And with the door in the middle, so it could just kind of fit right
Mates,
into
it mates with the hatch, the docking hatch. Yeah.
perfectly. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Dan?
I'll put it on the chat for you.
Oh.
Okay.
But let's see.
The whole sequence was just well done. Filoni and Favreau wrote this episode, my understanding. Or no, I was thinking Mandalorian. Never mind.
Yeah, it was the Mandalorian was the Filoni Favreau collab. Let's see here. Oh, I did. Let's see here. Where is? All right. I'm like slowly skimming through the.
They use the stun grenades. They were just they wiped the floor with those stormtroopers. No sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but this is random pause, but it looks pretty cool. I don't know why. Just that.
Yeah. See, the stormtroopers are shooting to kill.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think when they actually hit the cockpit, it was more stun mode, so they don't destroy the stuff. Plus they want
and they can gather intelligence. Yeah, they can gather intelligence.
But
that I get.
But with this threat, we'll have to get the intel out of you. We have our second Imperial suicide. That's
they're true believers. This is a very important program, so they're not taking any chances on getting captured. Apparently,
where is trying to?
It's probably not a really fun way to die, to be electrocuted from your mouth.
From your mouth, right? Like there's got to be better ways to.
No, this is the Imperial way. It must be the most painful, horrific way to die.
I mean,
at least it's quick.
It is par for the course. So I'm just kind of skipping around. So about about 7 minutes in, we get our first real look at Mount Tantus.
Very cool.
Are they calling it that, or does it have a different name? I think
it's been mentioned once. I feel like it.
Okay.
I heard the name once in the show, but I could just be making that up. I thought we heard the name once, but I'm watching the show in HDR, using the native app on my TV, and it's incredible. Like the coloring and everything, and just
it
really
when
pops.
I'm watching this not through my laptop, and I'm watching it natively on my TV set with the Disney app.
Dolby Vision, right?
It's so
Dolby Vision kicks in. It makes a difference.
So much better.
The advantage of Dolby Vision, not to get all technical, is that each scene can have its individual dynamic range instead of just like setting it a blanket for the entire show. And it is noticeable for a series like this. It's like, whoa.
Hey, check it out. Baffy gives us some horns up.
All right. We're cool with the young folks now.
I'm not sure how young he is nowadays.
Younger than us, that's for sure. He's a fetus compared to us.
Fair enough. Okay, so.
But I like getting back to seeing Crosshair finally. So this is.
Oh yeah.
This is like we've been waiting for this, right? We've been wanting this.
I mean, he looks pretty dejected right here when they first come to take him out of his cell.
Yeah, they healed him up just to torture him.
Well,
it's like we'll torture you easier if you're healed.
It's not even just torture. It's like I think they're pretty much conditioning him to do exactly what he did too. Like with the reaching out.
It was interesting. We'll get to that scene that's coming up. For a second, I thought he was being let go. So that goes along with what you're saying. Like, let's see what he does, right? Interesting. Interesting theory, Jimbo.
He does get. Here's a Hemlock. He's like, I think that shows quite a bit of initiative when he was talking about him shooting his commanding officer. So it's
that name, Hemlock. It's a good name. Just it makes me laugh for some reason. I think of Heimlich.
For me, I think of there used to be a character when I was a little kid on Sesame Street. I think it was Sesame Street, called Sherlock Hemlock. It was like a Sherlock Holmes kind of parody, little green guy.
I always think of like Heinrich Himmler too, maybe.
Yeah.
That's more historical.
Yeah,
It all works. It all works.
That's a little less of a positive connotation, but yeah.
There's no positive connotation with this guy.
No, I don't think so.
He's a jerk. But yeah, this was definitely. Oh, why is I'm not putting it down on the right?
I forget what that droid is called. Interrogation droid.
The little ball with the syringe
Mhm.
on it.
Yeah, he's made another cameo. He's been on several Disney Plus shows, I think. Right?
Mhm.
Was he?
Yeah.
I forget the last time we saw a droid like this.
I mean, that's his
Rebels. It was on Rebels, I think.
Did they not have one on
Kenobi?
Kenobi? Yeah.
Kenobi, they didn't want to use this thing on Leia. She's too young.
Right.
They just strapped her down and shocked her or something like that.
Right.
And instead on Andor, they just used the dying whales of that.
Right. I was kind of hoping for that. They're like, oh, okay, you don't like this interrogation droid? Check out this new stuff that we got. But wait a minute.
You don't suppose the interrogation droid is derived? Like,
no, it would be around, right? Or maybe it hasn't quite happened yet, right?
No,
it gets fuzzy where Andor in this show. I can't. They're concurrent almost. No.
I don't think there's really that much of a rebellion at this point. The things are just getting started on the galactic empire.
It's more.
And it seemed like an Andor had just happened. Like they just recorded a few months ago. Like we got this recording. You're gonna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
It's the old-fashioned method. The old ways of just inject you full of psychotropics and
stabby, hurdy.
Big giant needle full of pain.
We get to Coruscant with the clones, and they're filling in Senator Chuchi.
Chuchi again. I thought that was a nice bringing it back.
Yeah, this is definitely the starts of a organized rebellion. You got these defecting clone troopers doing what they need to do.
Very early. We're seeing clones fighting for their survival now against.
Right.
You always wonder what happened to clones. Like this is what happened to them.
Yeah.
Like they were being phased out.
Yeah.
And then they didn't go quietly into the good night, so that's good. You would hope that they're soldiers. You'd hope they would fight.
Mm-hmm.
So did they make Echo even more pale? Is he getting whiter?
He's pretty pale.
I mean, when they pulled him out, of that pod, dude, he'd been in there for like a year, hooked up into the Matrix.
Yeah, but look at him next to Hauser. Hauser's pretty brown.
Hauser has seen sun within the last 6 months.
Yeah, I guess, but
Echo's just sickly. He's a sickly boy.
Echo's wider than my legs, man. I mean,
Echo's basically a glorified zombie.
Yeah.
That boy ain't right.
I wonder if like his skin if he's actually decaying. He just.
I mean, he's got so many implants. I wouldn't be surprised. He needs an analgesic cream.
Mm-hmm.
He needs
he's pretty much Borg.
Steal that dude's Old Spice cream.
Yeah. Does he shower? Or does he take oil baths?
Right.
I guess that is the difference, between a droid and a sentient bio life form.
So, all right. So we're back to Crosshair.
Tantus? Okay.
Who puts their blaster down next to someone who's known to hit their mark?
See, this makes me think that what Jimbo was saying, like this is actually like a test or something. Like they don't care about a couple stormtroopers.
They know that if he gets loose, he'll do what he needs to do to get his call out.
Yeah, and maybe by
telling them that they're under that they're being chased down, in effect, is going to send them into action and then flush them out.
Yeah,
especially if they think
him reaching out to warn them is what they might have wanted. This might be the actual plan, just like in original Star Wars. Are they away? Is the homing beacon is secure? But the whole Death Star chase was just let them go.
That's the whole. Why can't these stormtroopers hit anything? Because they're not trying to.
They're just kind of
trying to herd Han, Luke,
Yeah.
and Leia.
Back to
and
the Falcon.
Chewie, back to where they
Oh no, they got away.
like get them to go without making it look like you're trying to make them go there. Like,
Yeah.
but that's yeah. But yeah. So let's see here.
Speaking of going there, I just got a little distracted. How did you get tickets to that show there, DanMalore?
Oh, I modified some credentials.
I thought you might have had some friends with Sheev.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, he doesn't. He's stingy as f. He doesn't let anybody in, and he's got some dweeb with him. I don't know.
Let's see here.
Another bootlicker.
So Crosshair sends out his signal, and then they pump in the green gas.
Yes, but let's talk about the signal. What was it? Plan 88? Is that the subtitle?
Plan 88 is the subtitle.
I thought that was very cool. Like these guys are a special elite team. They have a contingency
plans.
Yeah, if anybody gets like you can get word out. But in doing this, he might have actually harmed them, because now they're either going to try to find him. It makes complications. But what are you going to do? He's going to try to warn them.
Right.
He's decided that he doesn't want them to get captured.
I mean, jumping to the end of the episode,
Can you also go a little bit forward before this? Did you notice he's not stunning anybody? He's blasting every fool that he runs into on that floor, except for her.
Except for her, yeah. Except for
right.
But he's just like one shot kill everybody.
Well,
like I was cheering. I know, but no stunning, none of that wishy-washy. Right. So the show is I'm still like, what are they doing? Like, why are they half stunning?
They're stunning the clones that are doing their duty. The stuns who are they're stunning the people who are only following orders, as opposed to the people that are there that are willingly participating. If that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know the difference between the guys who are bringing them to this place and the ones that are on the place.
If they're wearing a stormtrooper helmet, if you're wearing a TK helmet, they're not a clone. So they're fair game.
They're still pretty like.
But they stunned stormtroopers in the beginning of the episode. They were stunning those guys.
The TK,
the ones that were
not Crosshair.
Not Crosshair.
That's not Crosshair.
But I literally clapped and cheered during this chase through the hallways that he was just one shot killing everybody.
Right.
I'm like, this is more realistic.
Yeah.
He's living up to the name.
Totally.
Yeah, this is like he's had training simulators that were harder than this.
Totally.
Because remember in the first season there was they put him through that brutal training. Like they got 1,000 droids against like just the Bad Batch, So he's just like, whatever. This is my warm up.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there was the droids that their weapons had no effect on, and they eventually took them out anyways.
So
yeah. So they gas him, and the guy is resistant to gas. That was interesting. I wonder if that'll come into play later.
His developed poison. So yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that episode during the Clone Wars with that blue gas that they had on was it on the Naboo? Cut. Yeah, it was on the like totally reminded me of that episode.
There was also an episode about a killer contagion. Remember that one on the jungle planet?
Yes.
It was like super biohazard that kills everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad weapons in the universe. Yeah, he's a poisoner. It'll probably come into play. I don't know why they would do that if it wasn't going to come into play later. Right. There's going to be something about that gas.
Right. So
maybe they'll modify it so he thinks he's safe, but he's not. I don't know. I'm just thinking like a writer. Go ahead.
It's possible. You want to go fishing with Wrecker?
I actually did, for some reason didn't notice. I guess he says hi right as they go by.
I'd go fishing with Wrecker.
Yeah, he probably caught a pretty big fish there.
He did. Let's see, where is? So we got the mayor or whatever this guy is trying to convince Hunter to stick around. Because look at that fish.
Hunter's trying to convince himself not to stay. It
Right?
feels like almost constantly. Like he's into it, but he also has like responsibility. He knows that like the bad things that their presence can bring to an idyllic world like that.
I know. Like I said last time, I think these guys are doomed. This planet,
Yeah.
or it's not. They're not going to either they can't stay there to save them, and if they do,
Or the only way they
they're
can save
doomed.
them is by getting the hell out of there before anything even like,
Yeah.
happens to them.
Mhm.
That's kind of
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
It's like we want to stay here, but if we do, the Empire will come. It's like, yeah, it's not that easy. You can't just hang out.
No, not with their skill set.
There we go. That's a honking fish there.
They have a
Yeah,
particular
they're-
set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a particular set of skills,
Hmm.
you know, and if
But it's the galactic peace after the fall of the Republic. Pax Imperial, right?
so I'm trying to pick up going through this episode a little bit because I really want to
Mhm.
talk about Mando. Omega.
Although this is
Omega
awesome
learning
stuff.
Taking actual flying
Uh-huh.
lessons.
And dubbing it the tech turn.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. At first he's like, wait, it's not called. I actually like that. Never mind.
And then she did it like
Yeah.
2 more
Yeah.
times.
That's actually where I. No, that's not what it's called, but I rather like it.
Hmm.
It's pretty.
Yeah. See,
good.
again, her and Tech, they playing him up. I'm pretty sure he's a goner. I keep saying that every week. It's just
Right.
they're just highlighting him too much. I mean, Hunter, I would say, seems like the most low key character in all the season. Although they did do a little bit with him, allowing her to have fun. He's like letting go his grip a little bit. He's starting to loosen up. In other words, Hunter. So that's a character change for him.
So this is right when Echo radios back that he's showed up. I haven't seen Omega look this happy since like episode 2 of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Yeah.
it is just
Wait till she's
drawing
having to
her
like
heart.
strafe stormtroopers and stuff. I don't know if it'll be as fun then.
No, leave it to
Maybe.
Wrecker to be the one pulling the trigger. He'll be fine.
Wrecker will
with it.
smile. Wrecker will be smiling while he's strafing stormtroopers. No question.
Right.
But it is kind of her room, the turret. So I would say it's her responsibility.
Yeah, but if she's driving, you know.
Yeah.
but,
No, because they lost Echo, having her pilot, and so it frees up one of the team. It makes sense because they've run into trouble being undermanned
Mhm.
in a couple of episodes of the season. So having her pilot and then being safe on the ship, and then they can go and do stuff.
And get
Yeah.
air support.
It kind of
Not
makes
have-
sense.
Not have,
She needs to-
not
she
have
needs to-
children steal their ship.
Yeah, she needs to come online. She needs to be pulling more weight for the Bad
Right.
Batch.
So, yeah, so Echo gives the data to Tech, and they start deciphering what's going on. And when we get back to, oops, I had a better shot and I moved it. There we go. We get the first cameo of Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
It was good to
not-
see. It's like an old
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah,
even though he's a
Yeah.
freaking asshole.
yeah. Oh, hey,
He is a mutter scuffer.
Mhm.
Kate's here again. She likes your background, Dan. And
Oh, thanks.
Says
Mhm.
hi to me and Jimbo.
There's actually a name for
Ah,
this
right.
opera. I was looking it up. I'll find it while we're talking.
I couldn't even tell what your background is because I have it so small.
Mhm. Oh, it's called Squid Lake.
Ah,
Like Swan Lake by the squid.
Mhm.
Okay.
that's squids.
Just make it alien enough.
Is that from?
Yeah. This is the Galactic Opera House. My box seat here.
Ah,
Ignore these two fools over here.
so yeah, so they're blaming the clones without knowing. So
Yep.
they'll probably punish all clones instead of the clones
Oh,
that are.
Let's be honest. And when I heard that, they're gonna punish them all anyway. They don't give a
Right.
rat's behind about clones anymore.
No,
they're less than useless junk now. They've made it obvious.
So we're back to the, what was this place called again? Pabu. And you can see all the places where there isn't light that used to have light when the tidal wave last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm just kind of
Yeah, it looks
skimming
incredible in HDR, gotta say.
Oh yeah. So they figure out the
encryption. Before I forget, data spike.
Yeah.
The data spike that he uses in the beginning of the episode. What is that? Dark forces? I don't forget how deep that goes, but those have been in Star Wars forever. Not in the movies, but in the
I think the first
physical
data spike we see is in the first Dark Forces game. I think you're right on that. I'm not 100%.
It was in Clone War. I think there's in Clone Wars.
If anybody watching this knows, please let us know in the chat or comment later.
If you want the right answer, just say the wrong answer, and someone will give you the right answer.
Exactly.
I like that the way data spikes work. Like they'll actually like start penetrating deeper in as they're. It's just cool. A cool like art design for technology in Star Wars.
Totally.
This one didn't go all the way in because there was nothing really to get.
Right. So
it's very invasive, actually.
So they find out about Hemlock and his unauthorized, unorthodox experiments.
Damn Heimlich.
And they're deciding this is, I think, the Plan 88, the Seeker. So the finale episode is actually called Plan 99.
Oh.
So next week's episodes are
together.
It's the finale. So we're getting two. One's called The Summit. One's called Plan 99.
How cool is that name though? The Seeker for that plan. Damn, that's good writing. I like that.
The Summit. That's going to be where I think Tarkin will actually be in the episode. So at first, when I heard the title, The Summit, I was like, okay, the Mountain Summit. But seems more like a conference.
Yeah.
Now. So
yeah, all the Imperials get together and eat sushi and.
Ooh, I had that for dinner last night.
They eat calamari, fried calamari, mon calamari.
Mon calamari. No.
I mean, think about it though. It's so much more efficient to eat a mon calamari versus like an actual squid. You like have one, and it's like so much meat.
Wait a second.
Would you see something in the?
Oh, okay, I didn't realize there was a wipe.
No, I want sushi too.
You see how there's.
Yeah, that's a classic Star Wars wipe.
But it's like the scene, like they were looking at the screen that had some stormtroopers on it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, are they actually looking at Crosshair laying on the table? But no, they're not. It was a wipe. Because it's just. But yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the episode we're at now. They decide to up his dosages of whatever that.
I'm not feeling it, man.
I don't think it's working, personally.
No, he is so hardcore. I mean, these guys, like they're like special forces.
I don't know.
That's the entire point. Is that they're going to break him eventually from with the conditioning, and then even though he is not necessarily against the rest of the boys, now he is.
He might already be resigned to his fate.
Right.
So I have a feeling like him and Tech, and I don't know how many of the Bad Batch are going to survive. I think maybe just Omega.
I feel like by the time Plan 99 comes together, Crosshair is going to be. I've been saying this all season, and it hasn't come true yet. I think Crosshair is going to become a Dark Trooper. I mean, not a Dark Trooper, a Death Trooper.
Do you think there's enough time?
There's 2 more episodes. And
but I think those 2 episodes are going to be like just go straight into each other.
He's a prisoner, and he's being injected full of all kinds of psychotropic drugs. So I
he might be able to break his conditioning now.
Gets to him, he's going to be
in the black armor.
he's going to be in the black armor, and he's going to have his new helmet with the green visor, and it's going to be,
If that is the case,
hey,
I'm pre-ordering that.
We're going to go send
action
you
figure.
to protect this guy named Krennic. And
No,
he's
I don't think he's going to make it out of Tantus Lie. But
I don't
if they
know.
make a figure for that, I'm pre-ordering that because that is awesome.
I mean, that's look at that. You do what they tell you if they're treating you
it's
like
not fun
that.
times.
But that's.
If anything, he's gonna freak that
But
he's turning.
Why do they give her this close up?
Because she's busting them out.
Yeah,
she's gonna bust him out. She's gonna actually.
She almost wanted him to escape the first time. I don't know what that whole situation was about. I don't know if that was sanctioned or not by Heimlich.
I wonder if it's more she's in the let's see what happens.
Hemlock.
She's that kind of scientist. She wants to see, what'll happen if we do this? Like super reckless.
And if it takes out her superior, all the better.
Right. Because in the Empire, the only way you move up is if you get rid of your superior.
Yep. The surest way getting ahead.
There's no promotion unless there's death. We learned that in Empire Strikes Back. How many times was it Nita who got the promotion? Or no, it was Captain Piet moved all the way up to Admiral. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. No respect though. You get no respect as the commander of the army.
Right? Well, no, not the army, the other the Imperials that were used
the general
to in the
general's again the one who gets crapped on basically too. Whatever.
Right.
Ground force is not that.
Yeah, General Graveers was the gunner in the AT-AT that blows up the generator on Hoth. But so yeah.
No, I don't think in the real army you kill your superiors. I don't think that's how you get a promotion.
Not in the United States Army.
No.
Yeah.
Some other countries.
Yeah, Myanmar or some of those junta countries, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It shows initiative.
Back in the day.
A curious amount of initiative.
Right.
I don't know. A grenade rolled into his tent. I don't know what happened.
Right?
Happens
sometimes.
There
was a crazy fire and all these guys. Field. What do they call it? Field promotion.
Mm-hmm. So next week is going to be an hour episode. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be good.
Is it going to be an hour? So next week for the Bad Batch is the 2 episodes that the people who got pre-screeners did not get.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
So no one knows
how long
what the runtime is.
I'll say this: if it's not an hour, I'll be disappointed. At least an hour. If it goes longer, great. But if it's not at least an hour, 30 minutes each, come on.
It's gonna be 2 15-minute episodes.
Right. I mean, there are rumors about budgetary constraints and problems with Bob Iger coming back, but let's not get into that.
This was all made before Bob Iger came back. This was supposed to come out in September and October of last year. So this is all.
It was delayed that long?
It was supposed to come out. Wasn't it supposed? It was supposed to start on my birthday, I thought. Or was that Andor? I don't know.
Yeah, I just forget how long it's been running. It's been a while.
It was supposed to come out back in September.
It was supposed to come out earlier than it.
They made it. So they were making it probably this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were finishing it up and doing all the.
We'll just get unfinished effects next week.
Any additional ADR and all that kind of stuff. But
some polygons, just flat
just
garage shading.
Just get the mock-ups, yeah.
These are our concept. This is our concept animatics for what's supposed to be here.
Yeah, basically glorified storyboards. That
I say that because we have seen during Clone Wars, they actually did show when it got canceled. They actually showed here you go. Here's an episode with just animatics during one of the celebrations, and it was online, I think, or something like that. I think it was a Bad Batch episode, or it featured some of the Bad Batch, the very first stuff. Anyways, we're done with that.
think so.
We're done with the Bad Batch till next week.
Okay, predictions. Everybody dies except Omega. I like Crosshair becoming a Death Trooper. His mind is wiped, so he forgets everybody. Yeah, nice and happy.
Someone with the full Wild Bunch, huh?
Oh,
The Wild Bunch ending.
And they whack Moff
Spoiler.
Tarkin. He's a clone in the 77 Star Wars.
right. So Mandalorian chapter 20.
Now I was confused before we get into it because there was no name for the episode on the Disney on my app. It just said whatever episode number. It said episode 4, season 3. I was like, where's the name?
That's how they've been doing it. If you go there now, it'll be there.
Okay.
Because they don't want
because it's in the titles. It's in the.
They don't want to spoil anything. For
you want to see it when it shows it on the episode.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Got it.
Otherwise, it's completely spoiled.
Got it.
Right. So the episode was called The Foundling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
you immediately think, oh, it's Grogu, right?
That's most of the Mandalorians at this point, and that's quite a bit of Mandalorians at this point. I mean, that is a lot of people on the. So I watched this last night with I was hanging out on the Vader's Lair stream, and Sheev said that Sheev the Wise, the host of Vader's Lair, he was saying that this is actually filmed at Lake Powell. So that makes sense. That. And yeah, it makes total sense.
Which has risen like 52 feet this year, something ridiculous, and it's going to be record levels this year.
Pretty bad the last time I went by there.
Yeah, it's back to it's going to be back to 2019 levels apparently, but they're not going to really. Let's not get into that.
Powell?
Yeah.
It's going back to 2019 levels. Yeah, it's insane.
It needs to.
And the winter is not over yet, but yeah.
What do you mean?
Moving on.
Monday was the first day of spring, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, calendar-wise, weather-wise, something's happening.
Right. Yeah, something's happening. It's called climate change, and if you don't believe in climate change, do not watch my streams.
Los Angeles and San Diego have more rain this year than Seattle.
Hey, we had a tornado. We had 2 tornadoes.
Yes, there was a tornado today. That was crazy.
And last night in Montebello.
Yeah, well, that's the one I was talking about, the Montebello one.
Oh, there was another one near downtown LA today.
I thought that was after. Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. In Star Wars, they have weather manipulation, so they don't have to worry about that. So let's get back on track here.
Wow.
Back in Lake Powell.
Join us on our weather podcast.
So yeah. BS. I agree, Kate.
They hired every single cosplayer in the tri-state area,
and even some children.
Yeah. Cosplayers and their kids.
They're cheaper, less scale.
1/4 from the right. Look at that tiny little Mandalorian there in red.
That's like the electrician's nephew. The set electrician.
Yeah, no, all the kids on this they have to be casting crews, actual children.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, come on, we're gonna go be on Star
Wars. Yeah, they're
today.
there anyways. Like, just can you bring your nephew or your kids or something? Just save on having to look, save on casting.
Right.
My chair's
I gotta
falling apart.
when it finally showed who directed it and it was Carl Weathers, I was pleasantly surprised because like some of the framing that he did in the episode was just absolutely amazing and hilarious. Just like his framing of Grogu, like they make him so small but so independent the way he's been he was shooting him, that it was just really funny to like he was super psyched at sometimes.
Yeah, I hope we can get some of those shots actually. Like, do you mean when he was on the beach with the little crab things?
Yeah.
That was
the
good.
Beach.
I enjoyed visually so many things, and I hope we
guards.
get some screenshots of those coming up because there was a lot of cool visual stuff that happened in this. I was like, wow, that looks great.
It's
short episode, only 30 minutes, right?
Right.
Less 27 minutes.
The
don't
children
know,
dueling.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what when you say.
Why
the
are they
children
shortchanging
doing-
us?
There was like when they were showing the like them all firing, like
Yeah.
okay, there is very small children fighting each other, and that's like what Grogu gets in is one of the like the very small children fights
Mm-hmm.
You're
because
talking about,
they're
this
even
in the background.
She's just
there,
like
or
a
what?
bunch of noobs.
uh-huh.
Because like she's the only one with like a
one.
real Mandalorian ship. Like that, I think that's so cool. Like she actually has hardware from the civilization that you guys pretend to be.
You guys are like they're like cosplayers. Like
They in every sense.
they are well, yes, but they are like acting like they think Mandalorians should act, and
Just like,
the armor.
I'm
like,
royalty. I was
Right.
Mandalorian royalty. I lived on that planet
Well,
before it got
there's.
glassed.
Oh, I think a lot of the Mandalorians in this are like, we got to be like they're like the tough guys style, extra, bravado. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a Mandalorian, so I have
Yeah.
to be this way, as opposed
Right.
to.
I mean,
Which-
you got to start
which
somewhere.
never- which
Bo-Katan's
doesn't
like,
actually-
she's like, just be normal, dude. Come on.
I know.
Which doesn't really let itself open for like what the end stage of the Mandalorians was like between the new Mandalorians and old Mandalorians. Like they were straight up like movement to become pacifist, like full on Quaker pacifist.
Right.
Even when like we're not going to defend our own territory.
So here's a little bit of Grogu practicing his force abilities there, it's moving that rock.
No, he
Mhm.
isn't. No, he
Yeah,
isn't at
no,
all.
no.
It got me so bad. I was like, oh, he's just pulling things.
Right. He's like, what? Wait, what?
They're just creatures.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
No, I
Perhaps,
mean, I
like,
mean
I-
that's what the visual joke was, right? I know, I
when
get
they
it.
all
Because I thought he
leave.
was moving them too. I thought he was moving them too.
Like, when, the ultimate punchline is when he walks away, they all go into the like water again. Like
Mhm.
he was pulling them, but not like you think he was. Like
No,
Yeah, he
I
has
feel
a
like-
thing with animals, right?
he's
That'll
very
come, that'll
common.
come in
He-
handy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
eats them.
Yeah,
he
he
eats
eats them, but he can also commune with them.
Yeah.
Where he did it a couple
Yes.
times in the series.
I don't want to jump ahead. So
Let's let Eric do that on this.
yes.
So yeah, there's dang it. All the little hermit crabs going back into the water there.
hmm
Don't want to
Mhm.
do too much more
I like
motion,
Powell.
motion
much-
stuff.
Too much video.
Yep. Let's see here. But yeah, so here you go. Din offering Grogu to combat. So is that's the same kid that we saw get his helmet last episode, right?
Yes.
Yes, as far as I
So
could tell.
Yeah.
I'm not good with
and later in
faces
the
and
episode,
helmets.
Paz actually announces
Says
that
it's
that's
his-
his kid.
Mhm.
It's my son, But
There's some question whether he's
his
adopted
foundling
or
is his ward.
yeah, or
If it's
you
if
know,
it's his foundling son, it's pretty much his son. Like
yeah, same difference.
Yeah.
Just like Grogu is they consider him the Mando's son,
and Yeah.
Right.
Din's son.
So yeah, so we learn
Especially-
a little bit about the Mando Creed stuff here.
mhm.
With the kid saying if he can't wear a helmet, he's too young to fight. And it's like, nope, that's not exactly the rules. Rules are a little fleshed out, but this was a little bit ridiculous. This thing that Bo is strapping to, like,
The
that's
dart-
just, it's too big. There's no amount of flexing your wrist or clenching your fist that's going to put enough force on that wristband to launch what needs to be launched.
You said the word
Found a way.
forced. He forced it. With the
Yeah.
force. That's why he doesn't do so good at initially. It's like, no, you need to like actually manipulate it.
Right.
Now there is also some confusion over the rules of this game when we get to this
Mhm.
point. It's like, why is the other kid just shooting one at a time and then Grogu blasts him with all three.
It's supposed to be 3 rounds, highest score wins.
Uh-huh.
And the kid shot 1, and Grogu didn't shoot any, so that's the end of round 1.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I guess I'm guessing, but that's how I interpreted it. And then
I don't think there's
round
any particular rules, but to win,
three, yeah, I think
to
that
hit your enemy, hit your target.
I think the kid didn't just light up Grogu with all 3 darts because he's just a little
know.
baby. Come
Uh-huh.
on. And then when
Yeah,
Grogu
he didn't take him
finally-
serious.
And I think
Yeah.
everybody was stunned that he was able to like nail him 3 times. So they're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a win for this kid.
Plus,
Right,
there was the
and
whole
He got a
flipping.
participation trophy.
And then that kid, being dejected because of the loss, walks to the edge
Mhm.
and gets snatched
Uh-huh. Yep.
by
Yep.
that big bat thing.
We have another giant creature sighting.
Yeah. Now I don't know if we should get into this right now or later, but
Oh, we
Visually.
should because we spent too much time on Bad Batch. So
I don't know if we did
Mhm.
too much time on Bad Batch. That Bad Batch is awesome tonight. Or
Mhm.
today. But people were like, what? Like, why, if this has happened before, because they actually mention like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. And they usually, if we try to go save them, they kill the kids.
Like, how
It's
many
like,
kids have
we
died
do-
from this?
But
I
in my
don't-
opinion,
I don't think it's just been kids who've been snatched. I think it's pretty much
others too.
anytime there's a easily grabbed individual, they've been grabbed. I don't
Okay.
think it's necessarily just the children.
So,
Adults as well.
well,
You
if
think they
I
have
were
some
one
kind
of
of
the,
defense?
if I were one of
setup?
these creatures, I would just wait until they go off to eat alone.
Yeah, they can do that. I mean, it's harder
Right?
to get a fully healthy adult.
Mhm.
But I think they're on this planet
and their
as
helmet
part
would
of their
be off, so
training.
they can at least get that first bite pretty easy.
This planet
Could
has
be.
megafauna.
It does, a lot
Like,
of it.
It's a super hard planet to live on, so they're intentionally there to make them stronger.
Mhm.
So, because a lot of people are like, why were they living on this planet? Like, what the hell? Your kids are getting eaten. Why would you stay here? It's like because they want to be there.
Because it's
they wanna
tough.
be-
It's
yeah,
a
because it's
travel
hard.
life.
They're not there because it's like an easy, beautiful paradise planet. They're there because it's like a really monstrous planet. So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy that we ran out of fuel again chasing this thing. We never find out where it lives. Like, what the hell?
Mhm.
Right? That's them right after they ran out
Yeah.
of fuel. But there's
Yeah.
Bo and her ship.
That's a great shot. Great shot. The visuals on it. Look at that.
Especially
That's
this. Yep.
insane.
So cool.
Super long
So
shot.
cool.
hmm I love that ship, by the way. I want
Mhm.
Right?
that ship if I can get the. Have they made
Toy
one?
of it yet?
I mean, it'll be super hot
don't
and
know.
possible to get, but I want one.
I'm sure there'll be a Lego set before there's a decent Hasbro toy.
Yeah. They're not. They're just not making toys.
Mhm.
Not that big
So-
anyway. But
Yeah, so
they,
Bo finds out where that thing went, comes back
Uh-huh.
to tell everybody. And
now they said lair. I thought it was gonna be like a cave, but it was just like a nest.
a layer
nest.
is just where something lives. It
Uh-huh.
could be anything. It could be a
No,
cave.
it's just
like,
fine. I just imagined. I'm like, oh, they're gonna go into this cave and it's gonna be crazy, and it was a bird's nest.
yeah, I don't know. Avian creatures
Well,
don't generally live in caves.
At least they didn't say a den.
Well, that
Yeah.
creature,
Yeah,
that
yeah, make
creature
it-
looks very close to a creature which is not canon, but Ewok Adventures 2, Battle for Endor. That creature in a cave that attacks Wicked and Sindel
Wait.
looks
wait,
kind of
wait.
similar to that.
Ewok Adventures are not canon.
Not
Oh,
as far as
no.
I know.
Oh no! Existential
Wicked and
crisis
T-
incoming.
I might have
I'm
to kick
done
out
with
the
it.
stream, man.
Diabetes. What's that guy's name?
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley with glasses in Star Wars on
Mhm.
Endor.
Yeah.
He refused to take off his glasses, ladies and gentlemen.
He wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it. So that's everybody's like, Dr. Pershing's wearing glasses. Yeah, Wilford
Yeah,
Brimley did it
so
first.
they won't- and
Yeah.
He broke the ice. So
Did he do it first? I kind of feel like Art Carney did it first.
on the TV show,
The
on the
Wars
special,
holiday,
right?
Holiday special.
Holiday special.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think Art Carney was wearing glasses.
that's
He had to be
sliding
able to
down.
read he had to be able to read the the cue cards.
Cue
Okay,
cards, yeah.
That is F level canon.
you're saying
Maybe
the
Z
holiday
level.
special's not canon
Life,
either?
it was the introduction of Life Day. Life Day's been a thing since
They can
then.
take things from those.
So
Wong's
So,
Day,
yeah.
am I right? What was the name?
Tongs Day.
Tongs
Wong's
Day.
Day, am I
Tongs
right?
Day. Oh
So
man.
so
I could watch a
Grogu
sitcom on the Coruscant. Okay.
gets a little time alone with the armorer,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and
I thought she was gonna
makes-
like do something weird with him, or like
What do you mean?
just
Like,
reveal something crazy to him.
You mean like their entire cultish like thing, like something weird like that?
Like I thought she was gonna say like, your daddy is never coming back, right? Like it's just
Or,
like,
like,
oh
she was just gonna
no,
be
dude,
like
she's
that-
a psycho.
like one of those
Mean stepmother. Like as soon as
yeah.
he leaves, as soon as he
Yeah.
leaves, she becomes
I just
like
it felt ominous. Like, oh no, he's alone with her. I'm like, what is she gonna reveal to him or
Mhm.
do to
Right.
him?
yeah,
But-
but that payoff of that shot of him with his like the thing as his armor
I know
was pretty
it's his entire
fantastic.
chest.
Right,
So
but-
I mean, he has a chainmail and that on top, dude. The kid's
Yeah.
indestructible. Like they'll find him toasted, like completely burnt up, but like his armor's in perfect condition.
Oh, the sadness.
Yeah.
So
Order
here-
66.
here's Grogu's little flashback triggered by the armor working, just like happened for Mando in the first season when he got rescued.
Yep.
So, sorry, I didn't want to too much
No, go
there.
ahead.
So we saw there was it wasn't a Jedi coming through the door like everybody had anticipated. It was
Nope.
just a bunch of clones. Like I predicted
Uh,
a while ago, saying I don't see a lightsaber coming through that door. I don't know if I said it
Commanders,
during the
too.
Arch-
Some
like-
people thought Mandalorians are coming through the door,
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't
know
exactly a
why.
low ranking one either. Like based on the
Boom. Dun,
Coloration.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah. What like did you feel the tension as the elevator was going down and you saw like the levels going by? You're like, who's gonna be waiting for him? Who's gonna be waiting for him? And it's like, oh snap.
Mhm.
What's the name of this Jedi? Can you just say it on just for the record?
Heller
Forget
and
his-
Beck.
Killer and back.
Yeah.
And it's Ahmed
And-
Best, right?
And he
Yes.
is the host of what was the show again, James?
Jedi is Star Wars Jedi Temple Adventures. Something.
Yep.
Is that the? Yeah.
What? I'll have
Yeah.
to look into that.
It's a
It's
Star
a
Wars-
children's show.
Yeah,
You-
Star Wars Kids channel.
you
and
remember-
Star Wars? It's on their YouTube.
I haven't
channel,
actually
but
watched it.
but it's not on Disney Plus for some odd reason.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Hey, do you
It's because
remember there was,
they're
like,
pulling
a
in
show on
kids for the future
Nickelodeon?
generations.
You remember there was like a show on Nickelodeon where kids had to like go traverse like a fake temple thing, and like they would win prizes with like physical activities and stuff like that. And it was like it was like in the Double Dare era,
No, I remember
it was
Double
like
Dare
some out-
slimed, getting people.
but it was like
getting
an
slimed.
elaborate. It was like an elaborate temple theme.
Yeah, the hidden
and
temple.
that's exactly what this Jedi show is basically.
I don't think that. I thought that
Hmm.
that Hidden Temple show was on like KCOP, like on Channel 13, or like a UPN.
No,
or
Legends of
something.
the Hidden Temple.
Okay.
But
It was on
this is so
Nickelodeon.
crazy that we're seeing more
Uh,
of Coruscant. That's
And
Yeah,
CW for like a season.
Kate remembers it.
yeah, for some- I remember
told you.
Double Dare.
It was
Yeah, I
like
remember
Indiana
Double Dare.
Jones themed.
Mhm.
It was an Indiana Jones themed show.
Tomb
I think
Raider
the
kind of
hosting-
thing.
I'll probably see
Mhm.
it on YouTube and be like, oh
So-
yeah. That's
So
right.
did you guys recognize Ahmed
No,
like
no.
right away?
And I've even seen like
No.
a short documentary about him. You know,
Yeah,
after
I-
he got
I-
his
I-
life was ruined after.
I was
Yeah,
kind
but
of.
he-
I was
But he's
kind
been
of in
super
shock.
positive. He's been super positive about the
Dude.
Star Wars universe ever since, though, and especially with the thing about like, yeah, he seems like a positive dude about it.
And he was an actor before Star Wars too. He was like an improv actor. He was like really
Mhm.
good. Like he just took this role. Like somebody offers you a role in Star Wars, you're gonna do it. And turn out to like ruin his career. But
Mhm.
he took it in stride, and he's bouncing back. Now there's all this nostalgia for him. Like people, and now
Yeah.
look at this. He's back, baby.
Not only that, like he is probably got the best lightsaber action as far as good guy lightsaber wielders so far in live action.
Yeah, I mean the other
Disney
people
Plus
just get
shows, like-
wasted. He actually,
well,
He's hitting
supposedly
with
his character.
shots
His
back.
character is a very skilled with the lightsaber.
Yeah, he leveled up all his points. You know, his
he's dual
his
wielding.
achievement points to the lightsaber skill.
And he did it. Yeah, he basically was really good at the saber and decided, but the thing that he wanted to do was help Padawans.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
everybody's asking, like, why just Grogu? Like, there was a whole bunch of Padawans that just got whacked in this temple during this event.
Well, if the
And,
Force would have protected them, they would be here.
I feel like
I mean, there was like 5 Jedis protecting Grogu. Okay.
I think it was more like those 5 Jedis were just trying to gather younglings, and Grogu was the easiest one to get because he's in that little pod.
It also helped that he does have his little
prim. In the meantime, Anakin was in a classroom killing like 10 of them. You know, like
if they were in the same room with Anakin, nobody would have made it out.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So
all these cool shots of just this. This is one of the most documented nights on Coruscant. Like, you see somebody's going to do a super cut someday from every single concurrent angle of things happening at this,
I just
they've been using
this bark speeder with the sidecar is just hilarious.
It's very cool.
And
then they're getting chased by, are those V-Wings? What are those?
I think they're getting chased by, that's great. Might as well just let it. They're Arc 170s.
Oh no, those clone transports.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
The OG ones.
Yeah, those are the same ones that we saw at the same time we first saw the
late.
clones.
This is the very end of the Clone Wars too. So these are the best ones.
Yeah.
The LAT.
Yeah.
Low altitude assault transport infantry. The Laddie or the Lardy.
See,
very cool scene.
I assume if you're saying it with like the Jango Fett accent, you pretty much end up with like a Lati.
So we got,
and then they go through that tunnel, like the train that was in the previous episode.
Yeah, the little subway train, but
they just happen to have the assets in the computer. Like, why not?
Right? Because
how many times more can we go to Coruscant? Because we got
where
a lot
they
of it
ended
lately.
up. Here's the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
top of the mountain from last week's episode.
That was them some good pipe laying in the previous episode though, to like, hey, there it is again.
I feel like they almost should have had that other scene. Oh wait, no, they couldn't because the timeline would have been. It's like
this is like what 10 years earlier.
Think about it. That's like 10 or 20 years ago. Like
Oh yeah, it's right.
One show is post Jedi.
This is 20 years.
This is
25, 27. Yeah, you're right.
This is pre. Yeah, this is pre.
This is pre-Empire.
Yeah. But
very cool part.
And Pershing being there was post-Empire, so
yeah,
like it's the entire length of the Galactic Empire difference.
Yeah.
And like you said, it doesn't change. Nothing changed. Nothing at all. They took down the cogs.
They took the cogs.
And with the cogs up.
Right. So we're getting somebody's dog isn't happy. So yeah, they're coming in pretty quick, but that's it's a new Boo cruiser, not the Queen's ship, but
no, but there's their iconic look to the technology, their craft, right? So I like that. When you can go like that is a new Boo ship for sure. Even just seeing the corner of the screen.
All chromed up.
Yeah. What's up with these guys who are like, just take the ship, get out of here? Like, dang, dude, you're not even gonna try to like make it out,
right? Like it wasn't all let's get on board.
They knew it was too late, so like I guess they knew how important they were sent there. So it was like they were on a mission to save Grogu or anybody, I guess, from the temple.
Well,
I think it was more like when.
Because he asked them how many made it out. No, nobody.
Yeah, nobody. But also, like, those guys were just the Naboo guys were just standing there, and the clones get off their ship and just open fire.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's not a freeze. There's like hand over the Jedi. It's like oh hi, we're here to kill you. You know,
Yeah.
it's
You know what? Maybe they are actually trying to capture Grogu. Do you think that the clones are trying to capture Grogu?
no.
Like that's because otherwise they would have just blasted with the LAT would have just blasted the entire landing platform. Maybe they're on a mission to capture him. I don't
You
know.
mean for the same thing they were after before, getting sucked in that blood bag?
Maybe.
Got to get that.
I mean,
midichlorian
I'm
blood
just
bag?
speculating.
I think it's more like they want confirmed kills, not assumed kills.
I
So,
also think
you
it's
know,
really
be.
important to kill whatever species that Grogu is, because every time we've
Yeah.
seen one of his species, they're a very powerful Jedi. So
yeah, I mean, we really only have ever met 3 of them, but all 3 of them, 2 of them were Jedi masters, and the other's a 50-year-old baby.
a baby who's
But-
very force sensitive, despite like being a
Yeah.
baby.
But
A
yeah, it was
50-year-old
cool
baby.
to see that ship take off and be chased. I love how they've been doing it. I think they did in a couple episodes this season, but they show out the window as they go from atmosphere into space, so it just shifts from like blue to black. I like that
Yeah.
shot.
So here's the V-wings that you were probably thinking
Yeah.
of.
Uh-huh.
So
Coruscant always looks cool, man.
wow.
He's out.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
Do you think that's it? Are we going to see more flashbacks of what happens after that, or is that it for this season?
Well, now
Well,
here's the
important.
big question. Now is I don't think we're going to see that Order 66 door frame thing ever again. Like
Okay, that's complete.
That's gone. That's done. We got our thing. But now we need to know how Grogu and Kelleran Beck get separated.
Yeah.
Is Kelleran still out there somewhere? Did Mando steal him from Kelleran Beck? Like who? Why was
No.
Mando? Why was Grogu?
Grogu was
was that?
mercenaries had him, right?
Was it Nick-2 mercenaries who had him?
Yeah, on
in
that
in-
weird planet, being held
Right.
prisoner. So yeah, he changed hands
Like,
at least
so-
a couple times, I imagine.
So what happened to Kelleran Beck? We don't know.
He did.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
he's
it's
dead.
just
Kyle
maybe
Kestis is the only one. Like, Kanan Jarrus, Kyle
I didn't
Kestis.
see Kelleran Beck in
Mace
that
Windu.
orange. I didn't see Kelleran in that
Ahsoka.
orange goo that they had all those Jedi masters in the Kenobi.
I feel like he would have given his life to save Grogu. He already tried. So
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I
he could be
believe it.
alive. I'm just saying, like the
I
more
believe
they
it's-
have, more
Or
survive.
did he just
the more
end
loose
up in an
ends they have.
alternate universe hosting a kids game show? Like
He just slips through a black
He,
hole,
uh,
and
somehow
here we are.
somehow ended up in the world between worlds, and
Mhm.
I think we'll see more of that in Ahsoka.
oh God, I
The
hope
world
not.
between.
I hated that.
No, I think
Um,
it opens up some cool.
It opens up too much. That's the problem.
Well, so is having this Jar Jar Binks guy running around in Galaxy. Like, why isn't
But
he helping?
it's not Jar Jar Binks. Kelleran Beck is definitely better than Jar Jar Binks.
It's gonna take me a while. KB.
It might be the same. Yeah.
It's gonna take
KB
me a
is
while.
better than JJB.
And he's not the same as Ahmed Beck. Okay, it's a totally different guy.
Okay.
Very closely
make sure not to
related.
confuse him.
Totally different guy.
Can you pull up another screenshot of the chest plate that she makes for him? I think that was cool.
I
Yeah.
think she's
His little rondelle.
She's still finishing it.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What is a rondelle? I know what shape it was.
It's a singing group from the 50s. No.
The Ronettes.
What did it,
Oh, that's right. My bad.
like
I like
an
the Ronettes.
arm free? I think it's like the little thing like that goes
Medallion?
over your shoulder, your armpit is the roundel in a
Got
suit of
it.
armor. So it
Oh
goes, like,
yeah,
right
yeah,
over
yeah. So
here.
nobody can
And
stab
then,
you
like,
in your armpit
right.
in the vulnerable spots. That makes
So
sense.
Right. It protects it a little bit. It's still a vulnerable spot, but that's what it covers.
There's the piece of metal
A
that
rondelle.
that the armor makes right there with the mudhorn,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because they're the clan of 2.
Yeah.
And
that's
he'll grow into it. He's not going to grow that much. They know that his species doesn't grow. Like Yoda doesn't get above 3 foot tall.
Oh, come on.
So
He's
even
going to
a-
get like at least twice as tall.
Do you think?
Like,
you
At least
he's
twice
very
as tall.
short. He's very
For his
short.
species, he's a midget. Oh, I mean a small person, tiny person, little person.
He's a
Sorry.
little person.
I have a feeling that since they put this giant piece of metal on the front of Grogu, there's going to be a scene soon
Or he gets shot
where
in it.
Grogu gets shot right square in the middle of the
No
chest.
problem.
And
Because he's got his mithril
yeah,
under
but
that.
I understand that, but even that Beskar chainmail, it's still chainmail. There's holes in it.
No, I
He's gonna
agree.
get-
This
he's
is
gonna get shot in it and go flying.
Uh-huh.
I'm predicting.
And
And then he's just gonna
Mando
get up and,
is
like-
gonna freak out, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna do one of his
Yeah.
"Ta-ta," and like pop
No
out of
sweat.
nowhere.
But it's like half his body weight. I know Beskar
Yeah.
is very light,
Like
but
his
still.
armor is gonna be weighing more than he does. Which
Yeah,
is,
but that's
which is
that's
just gonna make
scary,
him
though.
stronger.
Just look at that. I'm scared. He was flying around,
then-
flipping, and like shooting.
What
through
weapons
those
do you think
holes.
they'll just give him? Little birds? Like he'll just have
The
a
whistling
bunch
birds,
of little
you mean?
whistling birds?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And he'll
mean,
just, like,
what
flip
kind of
out
weapon
of
can
them.
he wield?
Could wield a slingshot.
Hey, he can wield a vibro sword or a vibro spear. It doesn't really take like strength. It shakes it. It like vibrates fast enough to do the damage for you.
So they decide to go after the kid.
Right, yeah. So they're following the kid. This is them. They
Uh-huh.
just landed fairly close to the beast's lair
At Lake Powell.
at Lake Powell.
Mhm.
They're still at Lake Powell.
Cool shots.
We're just gonna call it Planet
Can't argue that.
Planet Powell. They're on Planet
They're
Planet
Powell.
gonna walk
Powell,
towards
uh-huh.
Monument Valley.
Go to Monument Valley.
Now we're like
So there
now
it
we're
is-
at the
there it
petrified
is at the
forest.
top.
Yeah. It's funny to see all those guys run out of fuel though earlier in the episode. Just want to mention that.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, they have range, maximum range. Okay, so now other people were like, why the hell are they stopping for dinner? And I know they explained it in the show. But if it was my kid, I'd go right up there and get blah blah blah. But I think they say that if they try to go in guns blasting, the kid will die for sure, right? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah.
other people said that this is just because Filoni wanted to show how they eat.
Mhm.
Exactly.
How that
Finally had to
whole
answer
thing-
that question because
Yeah,
every time
so-
they've shown him eat before, it's been like under the helmet, like they're
This
sticking
scene,
the.
yeah. And she's
Also-
the leader of the war party, so she gets the benefit of the fire.
Yep.
Also, you don't have to drink. You don't have to put like water or liquids into a thing. There's a thing called a straw, and you can just put the straw
Yeah.
here. Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure their canteens have like some kind of straw.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that the Mandalorians aren't just all on a liquid diet. They just, you know,
I know there's a cult and they have
there's
weird,
no
weird
rule for
rules,
dropping trousers. You just can't
But-
take off your helmet.
Yeah, but
but they should be
apparently,
able to
like,
show each other their faces. Come on, you're in the same cult. You know, outsiders I understand, but like with your brothers in arms, you should be able to show their face. But that's their thing. That's the weird thing about this cult.
Right.
They can't show even each other their faces, except they're.
Yeah.
I think they're allowed to show their spouses their faces.
That's what's been going. That's the word that's been going around. I haven't seen that
Yeah,
like confirmed from anywhere or anyone, but
no.
like
but in,
it's-
they're in a covert as a like communal living situation. Like they're not showing them like the way they live together.
I think we talked
they
about this
don't-
like way early in a previous, like in the season. Like this is all born out of like super secrecy because they were almost wiped
Right.
out, right? So this is extreme
Yeah.
measures. For
Well, I mean, it's
personal
also like
protection
if
of
someone
their
if you're getting interrogated and they're like, "Tell us who else is in your group," you're like, "I don't know," because no one takes their helmet off.
some
you
big
know,
guy that
like-
looks like John Favreau. That's the only one I know.
He definitely doesn't look like John Favreau. I've seen that.
He's got the body of
I've
John
seen that-
Favreau.
Yeah.
and that is not.
I know, I
like
know.
if you actually
Oh,
see that,
have you heard this?
the
This little
stuntman
tidbit.
that is that guy? He's
Favreau.
He's pretty buff.
He's
he
not
definitely
doing.
doesn't have
Yeah,
John Favreau body.
and
No.
he give him credit. He hauls all that equipment up that mountain like pretty badass.
Yeah,
But Favreau is not doing the voice for the character anymore because
right.
people are speculating that we're going to get a Paz Vizsla or Pre Vizsla flashback. That Favreau who did the voice for that guy. So we're going to see a flashback. Probably no, just helmet, no face. So they wanted to differentiate the voices. So somebody else
Right.
did the voice for this guy this time.
Right.
for
No, yeah, it
Paz
makes
Vizsla.
sense.
Just throwing that
they,
out there.
they do sound similar.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
they're same bloodline, so that's cool.
Yeah, it makes sense. I know a lot of guys who sound like their dads. So, not many, but I know a few.
And so they do it the hard way. They climb up. Didn't the armor say,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you extra long grapples
Yeah.
or something like that before they
Yeah.
left? So that works.
Yeah.
They try to explain. Filoni knows like nerd people watch the show, so
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
no.
oh, I don't want to
Filoni-
hear about it, so I'm going to write in all the
I think
explanations.
Filoni definitely tries to nerd proof his stuff at this point. He's like,
Just because he
"These
doesn't want to
peo-
hear it.
These people are going to
A
pick it
wizard
apart,
did it.
and I'm going to make sure it's not my episode."
They're gonna get some letters
you can
anyway.
pick apart the other episodes, but I'm going to cover all the bases that I can.
Everybody knows that Mandalorians only have 100 feet worth of grapple
Well,
hook.
I was gonna-
It's like,
I was
oh,
going to point
God.
out though that one guy was definitely getting pulled up by the thing. If you didn't notice, like he was struggling to keep his feet like going up as his grapple was pulling him up. So
Mhm.
good stunt work.
Yeah. I mean, that looks
Sure,
legit
Cliff
right
is.
there. But the one,
No, I mean, I would hope you're having some power assist. You're not pulling yourself up. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually retracting as you're going up. It's pulling you up. Cause I mean, yeah, I don't care how strong you are. You're carrying all that armor and equipment. No way.
Mm-hmm.
right?
I like that there was a helmet
But
in the bird's nest.
oh, right
There was
here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
that's
that
cool.
red
Nice
helmet?
touch. Yeah,
but-
because they
and-
explained that others had been
and it's
captured.
not Paz's kid's helmet. It's not even
No,
the same.
not
color.
Ragnar's.
It's
But they
not-
show
yeah,
that it's they
Ragnar,
show that
that's
it's
right.
it's
They actually gave that kid a name.
Ragnar.
name.
So, and
Sounds
that
like a
kid
Viking.
is. I think I've said this before. That kid's the same kid that played the Tusken Raider child
Oh.
in the Book of Boba Fett, and probably what you were just going to say is Jimmy Kimmel's nephew.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Kimmel's nephew.
Didn't know that.
So
Helps to have a famous uncle.
Mhm.
Yep. So there you go. They were looking around, and this is when so they spot heat signatures somewhere in the middle of the screen right now, but and then Paz goes crazy because he's a worried dad, and
It was cool a little bit.
like I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny. I've been playing a lot of Viking themed games, so seeing someone named Ragnar, it's kind of
Mhm.
funny.
No, that's immediately what I thought when you said that.
What?
I
could
said it
do
was a
that.
Viking sounding name.
Yeah, there's a lot of famous, well, at least 3 famous Vikings named Ragnar, and then boom, some of the ugliest freaking. Oh, whoops! I pushed the wrong stinking button, or actually, I just pushed it in the wrong place. I meant to
Those
put
are
the-
some ugly bird-like creatures.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
look at that. That's the whole brood. But look how tiny Paz is compared to those birds. The bird that's closest.
Even the babies. Yes.
This is
Yeah.
a megafauna planet.
Like
Gaijin planet, whatever the Gaiju.
The kaiju planet.
yeah.
Seriously, dude.
Everything in Star Wars lately has been like crazy kaiju stuff.
Well, especially on this planet.
Bad Batch has had a couple.
Must have a high
and-
oxygen content.
And then now we got this
Large life forms.
because this isn't even the end of the creatures for this episode. I mean, so there's
No, they end up actually.
there's those 3 things, and this is like every other bird. Pukes
It's
up
a bit of
the
a
feud. Look at that.
Uh-huh.
And there's Ragnar.
I
I mean,
thought that
Man.
was funny. How did he survive inside there?
he's wearing Mandalorian armor.
Oh
If you
yeah,
can-
I mean,
if you
Boba
can,
Fett
if you
survived
can
the
hang
Sarlacc.
out in the Sarlacc pit wearing your armor and be okay, you
But
can
he only
hang
has
out
a
in a bird's
helmet.
stomach for 2 days. No,
He
he's
doesn't
got
have any armor. He just
he's
has a
got-
helmet.
he's got a chest plate.
Yeah.
He's got a chest plate and boots, and that almost looks like the T-Rex bite from Jurassic
Mhm.
Park 1. With-
Yep.
Look at that. And then I was like, when that happened right there, I was like, bye, Paz. Good knowing you.
I think it Paz would be a
No, it's not
bad thing to eat though, but he's got too many heavy weapons and like, yeah.
This fight was shot very cool. Like the quick, the close in shots and the movement, the frenetic movement.
Just watching it again right there, I have kind of a weird, like, when the Mandalorians actually start flying, it looks like they're being lifted by a crane. It doesn't have that. Like,
I didn't get that.
If
I'll watch it again.
If you have a thing on your back, right? If you have a thing,
it doesn't look like they're being pushed off the ground rather than they're being pulled off the ground.
Exactly. I'm gonna I don't know. Some of it
it was passable for me. It didn't bug me because it goes right into these frantic shots back and forth.
Yeah.
Paz crying like a baby, basically.
Right.
Well, I guess he wasn't really crying, but
so they end up tying up one of the wings, right? That's what happens. Like they use one of the grapple
they shot him
hooks.
with their grapples.
Yeah.
That was a cool slick, just a cool move.
There's Paz just splat.
Just
the big birdie hurt me.
And there he is with his vibro. See, he has a vibro blade.
Yeah. Some of them have those gauntlet shields and stuff too.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. We went through the whole episode with no Darksaber action.
Yeah, even what he uses isn't the Darksaber.
This is cool. This is all cool. Like the quick movements and thinking. And that reminded me of like when the Balrog was falling down the pit in that other franchise.
Yeah,
just a cool like a dragon falling
Lord
out of the
the
air.
Rings. You mean? Yeah. That other.
Oh, I don't. Now we have to pay. Now we have to pay Warner Brothers or
no. You
Cinema
could say
it.
You just can't show it. Warner Brothers isn't that greedy right now.
We're only talking about it from the content of the Silmarillion, the chapters of like 2 to 5, but not the entire thing. Only certain sections of it, like the.
So here's another good one. Here's that.
So I gotta say,
boom! Yeah, another Vader, alligator, freaking turtle.
The alligator came back.
We can't see it. We can't see it.
No, they killed that first one. They had some barbecue.
Oh, that's right.
But I have to say,
found another one to kill.
Yeah.
I cheered, man. This is like a good moment.
Oh yeah,
I got choked up. I was like, they actually, because I was expecting somebody to die, and like I was like, they're actually pulling it together, meaning like these Mandalorian wannabes like might actually be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
They worked as a team, and it worked out, so that was cool. And Paz thanked the Mando. They might actually be buddies now. That's another cool. I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, because in the last episode he didn't say like he didn't welcome Bo.
You hit on something though. It's that they were working together, and like historically they've been fairly divided as a people, working against one another, like working for themselves.
This was a good moment. I was like, way to go. And how cool is that ship, dude? Like, I want that ship.
And then the other
the Falcon's cool. Yep. Yay. So we don't have to get eaten anymore.
I never noticed that before. They're all seem like they're doing this
the X
cross arm
thing. X gonna bring it to you.
They were clapping their bracers basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gauntlets
they're all like CM Punk fans or something. Like
But look at I think people they're doing it differently. Like
right. Some people
there's no uniform way to do it.
You're just right.
It's they're trying it out.
Like one up, one's a wrist up, and then
I kind of feel like though, just that kid that's on the far right is doing it wrong. The rest
the far right one's doing it wrong.
Yeah, the most of them look like it's right over left.
He's not the brightest bulb in the Mando drawer,
except for homeboy on the far right.
Who's giving these kids sniper scopes? Who's giving these kids rangefinders?
They're not real. They're just trainers.
They're.
Why do they call the little birds?
I don't know.
Why do they call the little birds foundlings? Like I can understand taking war trophies.
I think they're gonna
ride these. They're gonna ride these things into battle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool, but they're not foundlings. They're just they're like your ride, your
Yeah.
horses.
Three more foundlings need care and training.
I think he's joking, right?
Yeah.
And then
I can
here
take
we
it as a
go.
joke.
No, it's not he. It was Bo-Katan saying that.
Oh, okay. Boca says it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they're gonna like, okay, we got these new mounts.
yeah.
We're Mandalorians, so we're gonna ride these mother effers.
I mean, they tamed the mythosaur.
Right.
Yeah, they
I
have
mean,
they have a history of taming
is-
large creatures.
What does Quill say to Mando in season 1? It's like, your
I have
people
spoken.
rode the mythosaur.
Mhm.
Like, surely you
Which
can ride this.
gets me to where
Yeah.
what I was gonna mention. The
Sure.
theory is that it's not going to be Mando or Bo-Katan that tame the mythosaur. It's going to be the creature that's been taming everything on the show.
You mean the green thing?
Yeah, like Grogu is going to be the rightful from Mandalore.
Maybe. Or maybe it'll tame it
Tame it
to
for
give-
Din.
to give the appearance that someone else has,
Mhm.
being Din or Bo.
Yeah.
You know,
Either
that's
way.
my money's on one of those two,
Mhm.
or them becoming, a power couple.
One big happy family.
Yeah, which would be ridiculous, but whatever. There
Hey.
isn't too much romance in Star Wars. I mean, we got Han and Leia and Anakin and Padme, and
You just
Both
never
those-
know.
both of those turn out with some dude in a mask trying to take over the galaxy. So
That reminded me one of the memes I saw today was like, you could just quit the Jedi, right? Like you don't have to like bring them all down. You can just quit. Like you'll still
Yeah.
have your powers. You'll still be able to like move stuff. just quit.
oh right, okay, so
This kind of
Since-
throws me off. Like she seems like she's actually stoked to be there now. I thought she was like scheming and stuff.
I think it's more her family left her because she didn't have the dark saber when she came back from that mission.
Mhm.
And then when she finally, okay, fine, I'm going to go help Mando, and she comes back home to seeing her house blown up, she's got nowhere to go, no one to call family, and these people
And they basically made
welcomed
fast
her.
family of her. Yeah.
She came in, she was
And they deferred to her and showed respect to her, like leading the operation to save the child, even though it was Paz Vizsla's kid. Like
Not
even
like,
he was
no,
like,
you're the new chick. You
You're-
can't go.
it's your operation. Like
Right.
get the honor of watching the
Hey,
fire.
it's her operation because she had a ride though. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah,
actually
but
has
she
a
also was the one who
starship.
she organized it. She's the one who's responsible for the
yeah.
getting him there.
It's like when you're in your group of friends in high school and the one guy has a car and it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, this is his show.
I like the armor.
That was
I like
me.
the armor taking mention of like how like, well, this doesn't have any of the modern upgrades of like modern Mandalorian armor, but I hope it'll do.
Right. So she asks for the mythosaur signet,
Mm-hmm.
and then says that she saw one,
And then tells the armor right away.
the
I was wondering
armor.
when we were
I
gonna
think
deal with
first
this.
the armor though first I think interprets
Thought
that
these
as
being
she had
Alec-
a vision,
Mhm.
not she saw one physically. And she's like, no, I saw a real one, and she's like, where I'm
Some
always
people are like she understood like after she reiterated, no, I saw a real one, that the armor is downplaying it because she doesn't want her to like pursue it.
Mhm.
But I mean, after I guess everything wrong last episode, I don't know. I mean,
do
I
love
don't know
these
where it's gonna go.
changings.
I don't know where it's gonna go. Do you think she's gonna try to gather a bunch of people and like, let's go find this mythosaur so I can write it?
I don't know.
Like she's got.
Has she learned her lesson from the past of like grasping for power and like trying to grasp power just has it run through your fingers?
I was trying to find the right subtitles, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't without just playing it. No, I really don't.
Yeah.
I've already been pushing it a lot tonight.
No, but this is a cool. Like I didn't expect her to like actually. It's like maybe she. she'd say, I saw a mythosaur. Oh, you saw a vision. Okay, great. And she's like, okay, I'll just let it die. No, she's like,
You
no,
saw
I
what?
saw a mythosaur. You know,
A mythosaur.
so now all bets are off. I don't know where this is going to lead to.
Yeah, it's like a real one.
I mean,
huh?
like you said, there was behind the scenes showing. Oh, I like how the armor says, I can replace your, what is that thing that she's putting on her? A paladin or something,
Pauldron.
or
Paul-
The
pauldron.
pauldron.
But it's not going to be as advanced as the
Right.
one you
Mhm.
had, like because she
Right.
had the real stuff from Mandalore, like high tech ones
Right.
developed
Yeah.
by the
And
best
it
armorers
gets
on.
it gets ripped off. I saw that happen. I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
it's
I mean, it
an
might be
awesome armor.
worth going to find it in the water there, but that monster lives there. Never mind, not worth
Yeah, the
it.
giant.
One little piece of metal is not worth.
A metal with
Isn't it?
like super nanotech from Mandalore, like maybe somebody someday will find that armor.
Yeah, some
'Cause
fisherman.
that
with the
one
right
piece
kind
of armor is
magnet.
probably worth like an entire country's GDP. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very advanced. It's the end level Mandalorian gear from their peak.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, I don't
I'm
know if
pretty.
it's actually I don't know if it's actually their peak. It's just their
I mean, she was royalty.
termination. It's not.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yes,
right.
it
They were
is.
probably in decline already, huh? They were already in
Yeah.
decline. It's not peak.
They weren't like the great clans of Mandalore before.
Oh.
Like those people were really badass.
Good episode. Cool. Storyboard art. Oh, look at the temple
Mhm.
there. Wow.
Yeah,
The
they actually
burning of the
show this
temple.
for a split second in the background.
They did. It was fantastic. Like
And
the burning of the temple is there.
There's not Jar Jar with
Hellerin Beck.
Kellerin back. Yeah, it's
Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to call it night. You can go on without me
Yeah.
if you need to, but
yeah. No, I was actually just gonna
It was
say
cool.
we've been doing this for about an hour and a half, so
I think we're about done, huh?
yeah. I'm really looking forward to. You got to bounce out down. I just
yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go next week. I really don't know. I like that. I like that feeling. I don't like it that it's
Yeah.
not predictable. It's going in a completely different direction. Like now they like her. It's just weird, but
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cliffhanger. No, there's no pressing matter to get to right now. It's kind of a weird spot. There's no.
I mean, we're halfway through the season, so this is where
Yeah.
it would happen. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then we got double Bad Batch next week, and this is a cool like pivot point for both shows. Like, where are they gonna go from here?
Right.
It's gonna be dope. All right, fellas. I will catch you next time.
All right. See you later, DanMalore. So, you have any idea what do you predictions?
What do I expect from the
where
next?
we're going? Yeah.
I have no idea where we're going.
Same.
I will defend the short runtime of Mandalorian. Sometimes the story is self-contained and you don't really need any more extra time. And they've said that before that an episode runs as long as it needs to.
Right.
Especially if it didn't have a B story or.
If we look at like the last 3 weeks combined, 2 weeks ago it was pretty much it was just pretty much Bo and Din, and it was another short little half hour episode, and it was super fun and super cool. And then last week we got a pretty long episode with a lot of Pershing
Dr. Pershing
and why can't I Elia
Kane.
Elia Kane, yeah, that's it. So that actress, I don't know if you know, is also in the Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania movie.
I did not know that.
I didn't realize it. Yeah, she's like she lives in the quantum realm. she's
one of the quantum people, huh?
She's one of the quantum people. So kind of cool. But they actually show her wearing like a little bit more revealing of an outfit, and she's pretty muscular. She's a strong woman. So yeah. It's she could, she'll be able to do her own stunt work, which is pretty good. Because I like it when stunt people can act. makes everything they do a more believable than right there you could see that guy's size just doubled. You know, like went from a wimpy actor to a buff stuntman. Not her, she could do both, which is great.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah, so like last week it was a cool episode last week, but it was
Mhm.
really slow when you compare it to what we got tonight.
Right.
You know, it was cool
I,
Star Wars storytelling, but I like the high adventures side of uh the Star Wars stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, Andor was amazing.
Mhm.
But it each different story, you know, it has a different tone, a different flavor.
Mhm.
So the slower stuff, which over the last week, I know a lot of people were kind of complaining, you know, on the different YouTube channels about last week's episode, and apparently, the word is that story arc that Pershing and Elia Kane are on was originally conceptualized for Rangers of the New Republic. So
Oh,
they're taking the stuff that was
I
conceptualized
can't.
for that show
Yeah.
and melding it into the Mandalorian, and we'll probably see it blended into other Star Wars Disney Plus projects as well, which is fine.
Mhm.
I mean, but you know, let us know you're gonna do that. Don't just spring it on us and make us go, wait, what's going on? You know, that it's, you know, one thing to, you know, like I said, it's fun, it's cool Star Wars stuff, but everything's got its own flavor. And when we don't get the flavor we're expecting, it's like, you know, it's like going to take a sip of milk and it ends up being orange juice. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, what the heck was
Uh,
that? You know, it's, you know, a little surprising. You know, sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's acceptable, but sometimes it doesn't work. And I don't want to have any more of those doesn't work moments in Star Wars. We're under enough scrutiny from the hater toxic fan dumb. That's dumb with a B.
mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah. So I guess I'm gonna probably try to watch a little bit of Keller and Beck's show, Star Wars. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
You're gonna get the deep backstory
The
of
backstory of Keller and Beck
Jedi Temple
on
Adventures.
yeah, like it was yeah. I saw a couple little, I don't know. It's on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should I bring that up? And
No, no.
no, you don't think so? It's it's got a really there's like a an R2 an R5 unit on that show that I
Mhm.
when I
It
first
did not
saw
look
it
good.
when I first saw it I thought it was like so here we go. Here's Keller and Beck's first appearance, basically, because this is the
Mhm.
first episode of Star Wars Jedi Challenge. I'm gonna hit the mute button, but you know, there's a bunch of little kids doing things.
Doing Jedi
There's
Adventures.
the ship that they should have had Keller and Beck escape in
Mhm.
instead of the Naboo cruiser, but there's, you know, a bunch of little kids
Escaping from the garbage
doing
dump.
physical challenges.
Star Wars themed physical challenges. Yep.
Yeah, but that look at that R5 unit.
Mhm.
When I first saw it, I didn't realize that its head was yellow. I thought
Mhm.
it was just like this thing has been sitting out in a yard getting sun bleached. like, Like this is
Well,
just
that's the
some,
way it should look. It should look like it's sun bleached.
yeah. But yeah, like I didn't know this show existed until when did you tell me this was 2 hours ago?
Yeah, like right before the show.
Right before we started streaming.
Mhm.
And it's just I don't understand why all these Star Wars YouTube things that are made for kids aren't on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like letting all this content just be out there for free when they can be getting their numbers up. Let's see, what do you got? What do you got here? Good old Pedro.
That's a good one.
But yeah, so there's like where is it? 83, let's see. LXR5. Shouldn't it be
Yeah.
R5LX? But there's,
I just think it's great, like coming full circle from like people bullying Ahmed Best to like him coming back and being the one who saves Grogu. Like, just great full circle.
yeah. I didn't expect the subtitles said it right for me. This is terrible. It's just I had no idea that this show existed. It looks pretty. It looks like something they should have at Disneyland almost though.
Mhm.
Like it, for all the kids.
Okay, let me share another thing. This is what I was talking about, like the framing being great and Carl Weathers doing great work.
Okay. Oh yeah. Look, is that sped up? Did you have that sped up?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's the way he walked.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Just chuck in there.
But yeah, I'm still kind of skimming through this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. It at least looks like these kids are having fun. But
Mm-hmm. You mean the child fighting? The children
no,
fighting in it?
It
or the show? You're watching
this show. Yeah, I'm
Jedi
still skipping through this, and it's just it's they've already eliminated a team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is what I expect. The what's that the Star Wars hotel thing where they have the interactive adventure things. Mm-hmm. Like this is kind of what I would expect from it, but it's probably not even this intricate. And find the Kyber crystal or something. I don't even know. Those kids are Jedi Knights? No.
Yeah, they are. Keller and Beck said they are.
Right? Griffin and Braden are Jedi Knights. Well, I guess, their names are different enough.
Well, at least it wasn't Braden and Braden with two different spellings, right?
Right.
Because there's like about a million different spellings.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was a little kid, I would have loved to be on a show like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
and when you win the game, you get a lightsaber. Damn. And bestow the title of Jedi Knight.
Right. It's just, I just don't understand why. Why this isn't being exploited on Disney Plus.
It's got 1.7 million views. It's been exploited.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
just not really the target audience for it, so we probably missed it.
True.
Because it's like
True.
it's to the younger end of their marketing reach.
Yeah. Way younger. But like that could have like it should have at least been on Disney Plus or Disney Channel on cable.
Mhm.
To make a show with that level of quality
Mhm.
should at least be on Disney Plus and the Disney Channel and or Disney XD, not just on YouTube or hidden on a website. I don't get that. Don't
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah, it's pretty low on the findability.
Yeah.
Like
that was
we never even heard about the show until like I was like Keller and Beck. Who is this?
right. Like when I was really hoping it was going to be Mace,
Mm-hmm.
but
No, because remember I remember what you said so many years ago when we first watched it. No body, no death.
yeah. So that's why I was saying also like while the clone troopers landed on the platform and started shooting,
Mhm.
they gotta get that confirmed. If you can't confirm no vitals, they're still alive.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I guess we've been going on this for a little over an hour and a half, about hour 42. So I guess we'll call it a night. Everybody who came and watched the stream, thanks for coming. If you're watching this
Thank you
later
all.
on, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, comments. We'll be back
Live long
again
and prosper.
We'll be back again next week with the Bad Batch finale and the Mandalorian chapter 21. And with that, we are out of here.